Hello everyone, it's Thursday, January 5th, 2017. Went for a job interview this morning. Very interesting, somewhat. It's an industrial field. They need an assembly technician, which is what I am. But the problem is, like, they don't pay the proper salary, and they say like it's a temporary with possibility of long term. Long term, I already have where I am. If I'm content with what I would do and I would have no debt to pay, yeah, I would stay at Mr. Lube, because it's like something I already know how to do, and I don't have problem with customers. But the problem is the salary and my debt that I have right now. But this job that they're offering me, it's not far away, but it's a trip away from where I am, meaning I would waste more gas. It's not very interesting. I don't expect any miracle from that. Like, the only reason why I would take a switch is that if it would pay every week. So I'm not very interested in that field. And yes, I still run a cold. It's not debilitating, except I spit all the times. My throat really hurts. It's changed my voice, so it's really hard. It's funny to see the comments on the internet. Give me a second. It's funny to see the comments on the internet, how it's perpetually stupid over and over. I don't get much comments on my video, or when I make a comments on someone else's videos, sometimes positive, ever so often negative. Then you see a plethora of negative comments just following up because people don't agree with your share of the comments. And yesterday was on Taylor Swift. Celebrity that have this Taylor Swift because the way she act. And I replied on that comment on that video, and then you should see the plethora of comments. People agree, people disagree, people call her a bitch and blah blah blah. And yeah, she's a special snowflake, that one, thinking that she's an empowering woman with feminism. Well, she's the entire opposite. She's ruining the name and the actions of others. People are a true feminist, and they're doing a real thing for feminism, and she just go out there ruining everything, which is like, don't use that name if you're not going to do anything about it. You know, you're not a feminist if you think that the first thing that being a feminist does is entitle you to this kind of respect. No, it doesn't. Respect is earned. It's not because you label yourself with a stupid name that it makes you something special. It doesn't. It doesn't, it never will. It's like if I go around calling myself a feminist and I'm fighting for men's right. No. It doesn't work like that. People have equal rights. It doesn't matter what sex you are. It's obliterating. It's just awful, awful, awful. It's like, as societies go, people seem to get more stupider. It's just like exponentially stupid. As technology grows, the stupidity grows just as the same. There was a movie called Stupid America, or It's a movie. It's not a documentary. And the guy, he's a U.S. officer, a U.S. Army officer, and he's working in the archives. And they want to do a test, and they put him in cryo sleep with a hooker. And they are sent into, like, they wake up in the future where people are so dumbed down and stupid that the world is starting to perish. The agriculture is dying. The resources are dying because they're too stupid to actually work. And the smart people they have important roles, but not important in society. Like the Prime Minister of the United States is a dumbass idiot who yields a gun and shoots at the ceiling all the times. It's like, I'm afraid that at the rate we're going, if there's not a natural catastrophe to cleanse up society and revert people to an early stage of our development, and we have to work again to come back to society, we will head up into a drone mentality society where I want a job, but I don't want to think. I just want to do the same thing over and over and not work with my brain because it's too hard. You know, the job that I'm doing right now, that's exactly what it is. I'm not thinking. For me, it is such an easy job serving customers, making sure that they're happy, making sure that their car is maintained. That's not technology, that's not thinking, that's not challenge, that's routine. And like working in the afternoon from 12 to 14, like from 12 to 2 to 8:30 in the evening, that's just convenience. It's like, that's not who I am. I'm someone that loves challenge. I love complicated things. I like to think and surpass myself. But right now, I'm falling into dronism. Like every employee at Walmart. They're not content, they're not happy with their situation, but they're drones nonetheless, and they do the same thing every day. They don't strive to become something more. They're content in their little life with their minimum wages and the simple thing of everyday job and security. But that's not what we're meant to be. Like, sadly, that's not what human race was supposed to be. And there's a lot of jobs and a lot of people that are doing that every day. They settle down into their little lives, and as hard as it is to find a job nowadays, that you're so scared that you're going to lose that job that you tried your best to do your thing within the border, and that's it. You don't try to achieve more. Well, I'm sorry, I'm not like that. When I was working for the 9 years where I was working before, I was always striving to start my own business and have my own things, so that one day I would depend on that business to become my breadwinner, instead of having to depend on anybody else. This is what we call striving. You know, even if it's a routine thing, it's the same thing every day. As long as it's yours and you made it there, you're striving. But when you're settling down and becoming a drone at what you do, this is when you're doomed. This is when you're becoming part of the norms and you're just becoming a statistic. You're not part of the contribution. It's the same thing every day. No challenge, no fuss, no complication. It's the same thing every damn day. And if I would not have any debt, I would settle down in that. For me, what I was screaming down my mind and my spirits, I wanted a break. I wanted a pause where I would I would have a job where it would give me a break to rest, to recuperate, and get back into shape, and get back to whom I was. But this right now, it's doing exactly this. This is exactly the call that I was waiting for. But the problem is, when you settle down, you don't achieve anymore. You don't earn anymore. Ah ouais, vas-y. Je sais pas ce que t'attends, mais vas-y, il traverse pas la rue. This section here, I fucking hate going to this section because people are sheeps. They're just laying there, don't know what to do. If somebody crosses the street, you're on the yellow line. You let them cross the street because you're on the yellow line. They have priority. And that is the stupidest second thing when you drop someone at the door. You can't walk 500 meters? You're that handicapped? Seriously? Sorry, I'm just tired. Hey, people parking when they're not supposed to. Who's here today? So, this isn't much of a vlog. I don't even know if it's worth putting in.